Hey guys, it's me, producer Ross, and welcome back to another ITFC Weekly, the show where we take a look at all the latest news that happened this week and stories that you may have missed. And this week, I'm joined by good old Harvey, who we're going to look at all the news that happened. So Harvey, the first news story to talk about this week, of course, is the Caden Jackson coronavirus positive test. Another blow to the striker crisis that we're already having. This happened before the Doncaster game. Your quick thoughts on this, and of course, speedy recovery to Caden Jackson.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be the new normal, isn't it? You look at the Accrington team. I think 8 players tested positive, didn't they, for their side? Like I said, until we get a vaccine, I think this is what we're going to see week after week. To be honest, I'm not sure what the kind of protocol is, how many players you need tested positive to cancel it. I don't know, what the kind of the deal is with that. But until we get a vaccine, until we get some sort of normality back, this is going to be the case. This is why squad depth, I think, especially during these times, is so important, because you are going to get times where, like I said, Accrington 8 players. It might not be 8 every week, but you can get 3 or 4. They're not going to take any kind of risks with anything. So I think this is something we're going to have to get used to. Obviously, speedy recovery to Caden. The sooner he's back, the better, because, as you mentioned there, our striker crisis is getting worse by the week. I think they're going to put me on the bench at this rate.
So next up, we're talking about Luke Chambers. The man reached a new landmark in his Ipswich Town career, hitting 344 appearances for the club. He's now in the top 10 appearance makers. So he's making history, and now he's alongside some heroes and some legends at the club. Of course, it wasn't the greatest game to hit that landmark in the 4-1 defeat at Doncaster. But what an achievement for the skipper, Harvey, and your thoughts on this. Of course, in this era, in modern day football, you'll be lucky if you get players reaching 50 games for your club.
Unbelievable, yeah. I love the bloke. I think he's brilliant. I think it goes to show the influence he has, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, where we've had 4 managers, I think, haven't we? 4 or 5 managers since he came to the club, and each one of them has started with him every game, pretty much. Has started him as a captain every game. I think that's the only probably bit of good business Paul Jewell did when he was at the club. So he's been unbelievable. In a right back role and a centre back role. He's been brilliant with the academy. I think a lot of Town fans know as well that he has some of them living at his house, doesn't he? Which is unheard of, really. I think he's taken too much of the burden at points. I think that's part of the reason why people like Ward have come in this summer, to kind of shoulder that responsibility a little bit more and take it off Chambers. Not fully, but get it off him a little bit. And I think this season he's been one of our best players without a doubt. I know he's played that right back role before, but in the last season or two, I think the modern day fullback, that what you're being asked to do now, has changed a lot since he played it back in 13, 14, 15, whatever it was. And he's adapted to it brilliantly. He's up and down the pitch. He's looking at the way he's been playing in that right back role. You think he was 25, not 35. So he's a credit to himself. He's a credit to the club, and I'd love to see him come back in some sort of capacity in the future. I'm sure he will, because he's loved by the large majority of Town fans. I know there's some that criticise the mistakes he makes, and he might make 3 or 4 mistakes a season. But for me, that's not the worst thing in the world, considering what he offers on and off the pitch. As I said, he's a leader, and he's been brilliant for us.